High-value people have a unique way of handling life. They're confident, focused, and don't feel the need to explain every action or decision. They know where to invest their time and energy, and they avoid getting caught up in unnecessary justifications. In today's video, we're exploring the 10 things high-value people simply don't waste time explaining. By embracing these mindsets, you can increase your own confidence, free up your energy, and focus on what truly matters. Welcome to another Tip Daily video. 1. Their standards. High-value people set high standards for themselves and others. They're clear about what they expect in relationships, careers, and personal goals. They uphold values like respect, honesty, and loyalty, and they don't tolerate disrespect or negativity. Rather than justifying why they hold these standards, they choose to let actions speak. When they encounter situations or people that don't meet their expectations, they either address it or quietly distance themselves. For high-value people, explaining their standards isn't necessary, because they believe that the right people will understand and appreciate them without question. 2. Why they don't overcommit. High-value individuals prioritize their time and energy wisely, knowing that overcommitting spreads them too thin. They understand that by saying no to unnecessary obligations, they can focus on what truly matters, like meaningful relationships, health, and personal goals. If they decline an invitation or don't volunteer for every task, it's because they value quality over quantity in their commitments. They're comfortable making decisions that protect their time and don't feel the need to explain themselves to those who may see it as selfish. 3. Their focus on self-care. For high-value people, self-care isn't just a luxury, it's a foundation for a balanced life. They make time for activities that help them recharge, whether it's physical exercise, meditation, hobbies, or spending quality time alone. They know that self-care enhances their productivity, mood, and overall well-being. Rather than explaining why they prioritize self-care, they let the positive effects of it show in their interactions and daily life. They understand that taking care of themselves is crucial for showing up fully for others, and those who respect them will see this as a healthy choice rather than a selfish one. 4. Their financial choices. High-value individuals make thoughtful decisions about their finances. Whether it's saving for the future, investing in education, or spending on experiences over material things, they are deliberate about how they use their money. They don't feel the need to explain why they don't follow trends, indulge in luxury for validation, or spend frivolously. Their financial choices are based on long-term goals and personal values, and they understand that others may not share or even understand these priorities. Rather than justifying these choices, they trust in their own judgment and stay focused on financial independence and security. 5. Their inner circle. High-value people are selective about who they let into their lives. They surround themselves with positive, genuine individuals who add value, inspire growth, and align with their principles. If they distance themselves from toxic relationships or limit time with people who drain their energy, they don't feel the need to explain it. They know that their well-being is influenced by the company they keep, so they protect it by investing in meaningful, healthy relationships. To them, the quality of their connections matters far more than quantity, and they avoid the need to justify why certain people are no longer in their lives. 6. Why they don't seek approval. High-value people have a strong sense of self and don't rely on outside validation. They live according to their own values and aren't swayed by the need for approval from others. Rather than justifying their choices, looks, or lifestyle to gain acceptance, they focus on self-improvement and authenticity. They know that true confidence comes from within, and they allow themselves to be comfortable with who they are without seeking permission to do so. For them, self-acceptance is far more fulfilling than the fleeting approval of others. 7. Their personal goals. Driven by purpose, high-value people set and pursue goals that align with their core values. These goals might involve career growth, personal development, or even unconventional dreams that others may not fully understand. When someone questions or doubts their ambitions, they don't waste time explaining or defending their path. They trust in the vision they have for their life and don't allow outside opinions to derail their progress. By keeping their focus on the bigger picture, they avoid letting unnecessary explanations slow them down. 8. Their mistakes and failures. High-value people view mistakes as valuable lessons rather than as sources of shame. They know that failure is part of the journey and that each setback provides insights for growth. Rather than making excuses or explaining why things didn't go as planned, they take responsibility, learn, and move forward. By not over-explaining their failures, they maintain their dignity and resilience, showing others that their worth isn't tied to a single mistake. They embrace imperfection and believe in progress over perfection. 9. Their appearance and style. Whether it's their fashion choices, hairstyle, or general appearance, high-value people dress and present themselves in ways that make them feel comfortable and authentic. They're not driven by trends or the desire to impress others instead. They have a personal style that reflects who they are. If someone questions their choices, they don't feel the need to explain or justify their appearance. They know that true confidence shines through when you're true to yourself, and they prefer to focus on inner qualities rather than constantly updating their appearance for others. 10. Their happiness. High-value people know what brings them joy, and they aren't afraid to pursue it. Even if it looks different from what others expect, they find happiness in fulfilling experiences, meaningful work, and authentic relationships, and they don't rely on society's standards of success or happiness. If someone doesn't understand their path to happiness, they don't bother explaining it. They're content knowing that happiness is a personal journey, and they focus on what truly makes them fulfilled without seeking validation from others. High-value people don't waste time explaining things that don't need an explanation. They live with purpose, confidence, and authenticity. If you start letting go of the need to explain every choice, you'll notice a powerful shift in your confidence and energy. Try focusing on what really matters to you, and see how freeing it feels to let your actions speak for themselves. Thanks for watching.